Why, hello and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your host and guide, Zollin Ironshield. And today, my friends, I want to give you a quick and efficient little guide over a few minutes here of showing you how to set up the new legendary UI, basically the new legendary system. If you have the old legendaries, for example, if you're a new character, you just hit level 50 and you got to come get your legendary Rivendell, or you're someone who hasn't played in a few years and you come back and you're like, oh, there's a new legendary system I have to update. So basically, I'm going to show you kind of both where you're going to start, and I'll give you a thing of it, both of them. And with no further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing you need to remember is, where do you go? Well, I'll go up on the map. So Eriador, you need to go to Trollshaws, go to Rivendell, right? All right, it's going to be right here. I'm in front of the last homely house, right? Elrond's house, right? Where you do a lot of the main chapter quests. So basically, you're just going to go ahead and walk in. So we're going to go ahead and walk in together. I hope you're having a wonderful day in Middle-earth. And again, if this does help you out, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel as well, if I've earned it, of course. And also, let us go. So it's not going to be the bottom floor. You're going to go up the one flight right here. You're going to go to the second story. That's going to be on the left side, okay, when you walk in, going in. So we're going to walk up here. And I'm going to walk you through all the stuff real quick in a fast and efficient way where you can follow along, but make it not really long for you guys. So it's right here. All right. You have to at least minimum level 1. It requires Seeker of Deep Places, which is basically the Mines of Moria, right? All right, so here it is. This is the place we go. All right. So the first thing you're gonna have to think about is, before you get overwhelmed in here, you can click N for floating names, turn them on, and you can see you got all these different things. So what have they done with legendaries? We don't talk about the old legendaries. We're gonna talk about how do you update the new ones. So the first thing you have to do is you need to go into your old legendary tab, which is this one right here, right? The legendaries. And you need to go through and click Appraise on all of your legendaries that you have, okay? What this is gonna do is it's going to give you these new currency, all right? So I'm gonna open up our wallet real quick and just show you, for people who might not know this at all. All right, so it's gonna be, I think they put it in our wallet. Oh, excuse me, maybe they don't put it in the wallet. Yeah, we do. Ancient scripts, it's at the bottom. Whoop. All right, so I'm gonna claim these. It's gonna give us a few things. It's gonna give us enhancement runes, ancient scripts, which are the ones you're gonna need to trade in to get the new ones, and some other ones, enhancers. We'll talk about those a little bit at the end. I do have an entire video already on the legendary system, but I'm trying to make this a quick one for you guys and efficiently fast, okay? So if you want that, you can go watch the full in-depth, that's like 40-minute one, but this is gonna be as fast as we can with this video. All right, so again, there is a cap, but when you appraise the items, it will let you go over the cap, okay? So just remember that. Right now, here's the ancient scripts. I'm way over the cap of 10,000. But again, when you're appraising them, they will give it to you no matter what. If you're gonna open a box to get the scripts or something, you will not get them. So keep that in mind. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna appraise all my old legendaries here. It's gonna give me some depending on their level and depending how much work was put into them. See, you can see I'm getting different amounts as I go. Appraise, claim, appraise, and just do this really quick for you so we can move on. You just go through, do this on all your things, including your legendary, for your War Steed. That'll also give you some stuff. Remember the War Steed one, they do not have a new legendary system for the War Steed, so keep that one for now. All right. And then, so now that we have that, now we have lots of extra scripts. I did this on my other characters too. This is the count wide, remember this wallet? So that's why I have so many. So now what we're gonna do is, now that we have those, the first things I would recommend is actually go ahead and just take off your old legendaries. Just put them in your inventory, okay? The reason for that is when you go over to her, you're gonna go and we're gonna barter from her, right? You're gonna look for your legendary, right? Now these legendaries grow with you, so the minimum level is 51. You can use the filter and go through the filter if you'd like. There's also the enhancements you can get here, but right now we're just getting the legendary weapon. But you're gonna look for your items, right? So I need a Runekeeper stone because I'm a Runekeeper, that's my class. So again, so you just want to find the Runekeeper class here. Whoop. You just scroll through them here. So there we go, there's our stone. And the reason I told you to take them off is that the red box will still be on if you have it on. I noticed that. See how the red thing's around it? I'm not sure why that is, but that's just a thing in the game. So take it off so you can see, oh, that's mine right there. Okay, the Runekeeper stone, I'm gonna barter for that one. And then the Runekeeper's Stone of Legends and Fire Stone. So there are some differences here. This one does fire damage, this one does frost damage. So there are 3 to choose from. But again, remember that's just the your auto, I believe. I don't think that's gonna affect your skills, so don't worry about that as much. The Lightning Stone, again, tactical, that one gives tactical. You can go through and look at the few differences. Tactical, they're all tactical damage. So again, that's not really too big of a deal with which one you get. Just depends on which one you like the look of. I'm gonna do the rune stone that looks like this. I like that one. So I'm gonna get that one. And then I also need my other one, right? I need my pocket item, which will be here, my little bag, the Runekeeper satchel. Okay, so now I have my two satchels here. So now you're going to click on her again. All right, you're going to go to not barter, excuse me. You're going to go to open legacy. So this is where you can just keep the same name on it, or you can reforge it, okay? Now remember, I'm gonna explain something else in a second, so let's just keep going. I wanna do this quick as possible. So I'm just gonna keep the same name. I'm not really too worried about it. So I'm gonna just reforge it. All tracer slots have been upgraded to level 250. They're kind of like, you know how items have certain levels? Same thing. Let's not go into that. It'll get confusing. All right, let's just fit what you need to do, right? All right, so now that you have those, we can go ahead and, if you notice, if I hover in my inventory now, I've got all these slots on it, right? So there's a couple different things. There are tracers, there is your herald, and then there are 2 other things as well. And I'm going to talk about all of them right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put these both on. Now that they're both on in my inventory, this is a little trick I like to show people that I forgot about a couple weeks ago and I just remembered again. If you grab it and you drop it on where you used to remove essences here below your boots in your character slot, drop it, it brings up this little menu, which is really, really nice. And you can only have one at a time on, but it's really nice. You can see what it gives, you can see what you have on it, but again, we don't have anything on it yet, but that's what we're gonna do right now. All right, so the next thing, let's focus first on tracers, right? So tracers are basically the things that upgrade skills on your character. You can read them, we'll go through them right now. I'll give you an example on the Runekeeper, but again, you might be any class, so I wanna make this quick, so we're not gonna go through the whole thing. So again, I like to put N on because remember, your tracers are all in this room, and some of them are up high for some of the classes. So again, they don't give us a ladder, which is kind of upsetting for me as a dwarf. I need a ladder, but good thing mine's on the ground. So I'm gonna go right and right click this right here, and now you can go through this. Now here's the thing: if you're level 50, see how it says minimum level 45, these are going to be the ones you want. But what I would do is, if you're this is important. So if you're a new player, you're going to be using the level 50s, use the filter. Go here and go, there's all the ones that are for level 50 right here. You can see the levels and then how good they are. So there's uncommon and then there's rare, which just cost more. I would go for the best ones you can get, okay? So realistically, if you don't have the Shattered Cause of Doom Tracer for level 50, you might have that. If you don't, you get the blue. If not, stick with the purple ones, right? Or you can even go with the really, really fancy ones that are very expensive, but you have have that one. All right, so that's the nicest one right there, the gold one. But you have to have the cracked Cause of Doom Tracer, and there's a way to earn these, but we're not going to go into that because I'm just teaching you how to do that right now. But so here's what you have to think about. If you're a new player, you're going to be level 50. If you're a coming back player, well, I'm already level 105, so I'm going to go for something within 105. Well, there's a 106. Can I even use those yet? Minimum level 106. Well, you know what? I might go ahead and buy them, level up, and then use that in a second. But again, I could just use my level 5s. I mean, use 101. But it's not going to be a huge difference at this point with those two because I'm going to be leveling up quick anyway because 140 is max, right, at this time. So anyway, so now I'm going to get these, all right? So I'm going to get the best ones I can get. I'm going to do the 101, so I can get them for you right now. I'm going to use these ones, the blue ones, because I have 10 of the Shattered Gondorian Tracers, which is that level, right? So I'm going to get the blue ones the best I can. So now let's look through them real quick. There's 2 groups for each color, right, that you can go through. They are different, and they're all named. Now, here is very important. A lot of people get confused on this when we're doing this, okay? When I first was learning this system last year, it got a little confused. You cannot have the named tracers, the same one on both legendaries equipped at the same time. So for example, if I put on, you want to think about what are you going to use your bag for, what are you going to use your stone for? Because remember, you could have another legendary. You could have one stone that focuses on lightning damage on the lightning tree, right? You could have another one focuses on fire damage and over time damage. Again, as you read through these, or one as a healing stone, right? Look, Bombastic Inspiration Heal, 50% better bubble, a better outgoing healing, right? This one, Cleanse Augment Damage, which is the one ability down here, which is really good for Runekeepers. Again, it says the name of the ability, right? So Chill of Winter debuff. So again, that's this ability right here. So what does it do? Well, Chill of Winter debuff, it does 10% duration. It makes it longer, the slow, which is really, really good. Instead of 10 seconds, it's a 20-second slow. All right, so there's really amazing buffs. But again, remember, if I'm like, oh, I could put that on both legendaries and have a 30-second slow, it doesn't work with tracers, okay? It works with the other ones, but it doesn't work with tracers, all right? So, well, it doesn't work with all the other ones. I'll explain it, okay? So again, I'm gonna go through and get some of these right now. What I'm thinking about in my mind, here's what you need to think about, is you need to think about what tree are you gonna be? And should your belt, are you never going to replace your bag? You should put things that you always use in all the trees on your bag. Like, for example, if you're, you know, or have a healing bag, a separate, right? That has all the healing traits on it. And then maybe have damage on this bag. Again, I'm going to focus on lightning stuff with this particular, of course, this is my ice stone, but it doesn't matter what the stone's damage, base damage is on top there. This is what's going to matter, the tracers, okay? So I'm going to get epic conclusion damage, 50% increased damage, all right? And tactical mastery rating, sweet. So I'm going to take that one. Again, remember, don't buy more than one unless you're going to have separate like stones that you switch out during different trees, okay? Epics for the ages, that's hard. My heal, that's if I was going to make a heal stone. I'm not going to do that right now. Essence of flame, this could be good. I believe I still, no, I don't get essence of flame and lightning tree. So I'm going to make this a lightning stone, okay? That's my goal right now. I'm gonna do it as fast as I can here. Fury of Storm, damage and crit multiplier, right? So my Fury of Storm was my lightning ability, crit multiplier, critical chance. I'm gonna take that one for my stone. And remember, you can look how many you have. You can drag this, you can pop this and see, okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots for this stone, all right? So again, I need 3 more things then, right? Runestone of healing and damage. Your runestone does more damage and healing, which is the one you drop on the ground. That's kind of cool, but I don't think that's really huge. Sparks damage, prelude. That could be a good one. I'll take that one. That's a skill you use all the time in new damage. Self-motivation cooldown. That's a really good one. Shocking words does more damage. Again, this is shocking. Shocking words is the really awesome Runekeeper one. So yes, I would like that one for this. And then I also need sustained bolt damage. That is this one over here for Runekeepers. Again, you don't need to know. Just remember, whatever class you are, it will say the skill name in the description. Plus 50% sustained bolt damage. Sustained bolt is one of my abilities on Runekeeper, okay? We're gonna move on so we don't go too slow here for you guys. All right, so now that I have these, I'm gonna go ahead and just right click, and it's gonna, just like the old legendary system, it's gonna bring up a new panel, and I'm gonna choose which one. I'm gonna put it on my runestone. You can see it just went in there, right? And again, I'm gonna put all of these on this runestone. Remember, if I went and got the same exact one and put it on my belt, my satchel, I couldn't have the same tracer on. All right, that's really important. Don't get confused on that, okay, guys? Tracers, if it's a skill buff, it can only be on the one, okay? So anyway, now we have here, so we just need our word of craft, and then our heraldry and word of power on this particular runestone. But I have not completed, if I drag this and drop it, open this, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more tracers on my belt. Now here's what we could do on the belt. I could think of skills that are lightning too, if they have it, or damage, or I can think of things that possibly do, you know, to help me all the time, right? They can just help you all the time. So like, for example, even if you retrait your tree, it's a skill that's you always get, right? It's one of your base skills you just always have. It doesn't come from a tree, just a certain trading, right? So Prelude of Hope, I believe is my heal, that a basic one I put on myself. So you know what? I always have that, right? I have that no matter how I trade. So I'm gonna put that one on my belt. And then I'm gonna go 35% the rune stone. I use that either damage or the healing stone when I have it, right? So I'm like, I could put that on my belt. So I'll get that one to put on my belt. Now I'm gonna flip to the other page, because I know there was another page, and look through this one. Targets, percent target fury storm resistance. That's pretty cool. Now, storm, if I can remember which one my storm resistance is, that could just be overall my lightning one. I'm trying to remember if that is a lightning ability, but we don't need to worry about that right now. Let's keep moving on. So shock resistance, that is this one actually. That's, yeah. The Fury of Storm resistance is one of my abilities, I believe. Or actually, Fury of Storm, excuse me. Fury of Storm is, yeah, it's one of my it's one of my electric ones. So that could be a good one to have. Right, resistance rating for Fury of Storm could be a very, very good one to use. Vivid Imagery, all right, that does 50% more damage and gives more finesse. That's this ability for lightning. That could be a good one, extra damage on that. But yet, that's a long cooldown. I might not want to use that one all the time, right? Those are the things you have to think about as you do this. Again, this is a walkthrough, and we're going to talk about the last ones here in a second. So fire damage, I don't use a lot of fire damage, but I do if I trait into the fire tree, right? Rite of Healing, that's if I was in my healing tree. Rite of Damage, it gives tactical mastery. Word, Bubble, oh, the bubble, that could be a good one. All right, that's for the healing bubble though. Again, that would be good on a healing setup. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this. I think I'll do vivid imagery because I'm gonna try to set up for a lightning build here. So I have 3. I need 2 more. I'm gonna go ahead and take the target fire resistance. I'm gonna do the storm one, which I believe is resistance for my lightning skills in general. And then maybe I'll just do the shocking touch resistance rating, because shocking touch is the one where you can stun someone up close. Again, we don't need to talk about that. It'll get confusing. So I'm gonna apply all these now and put all these tracers onto my satchel. All right. And we will go through this real quick. And then I am now going to flip to the next one here. All right, and now we're going to talk about the next thing. So now that you can see, I have my tracers on both of these. So if I hover them, even with the normal one, you can see there they all are, right? So all the tracer slots are filled, right? And this one too, all the tracer slots are filled. And again, if you notice, they're not copying. So again, if I had Fury of Storm damage and crit multiplier on this one, it wouldn't let me apply it. It would make me take off one of the legendary items. So you do have to make sure you think about that. All right, so now let us talk about heraldry, okay? This is something you can have the same on both of your equipped legendaries at the same time, okay? So it's right here. This is where you find the heraldries in this little room. So we're gonna click on this. This basically comes down to what stats do you want on that weapon, okay? So again, you're gonna wanna find your level. I'm gonna use the 101 since I'm at this level. I'm gonna use the best one I can get. I don't have those, so I'm gonna use the purple ones. And now just hover them and find the one. I'm gonna use rare. I'm finding the one that you will help you the most, right? For your class. Again, for me, I want as a, what is your most important stats? Well, hover all your stats. This is in one of my other videos. Hover them all, and whichever one says, as a runekeeper, it is very important to you in the description when you hover your stats. So for example, vitality and I believe will. Yes, will is very important to me. And apparently fate is not. So will and vitality are the things you really want on this character. I don't know why someone's crying. See, they need my video. They need to know how to do this. It's confusing. So anyway, now again, I will say though, I like the new system. Just a real quick note. I like the new system because it is very, once you understand it, it's real easy, and there's a little bit more creativity than the old system, but at the same time, it can be a little confusing if you're used to the old system. So that's why I'm making the video. All right, so I want will and vitality. There we go. Herald of the Owl, outgoing healing. All right, well, I would prefer it to not have outgoing healing. I prefer to have some kind of magic damage, right? Herald of the Eagle, will and vitality, tactical mastery, Herald of the Eagle. That is probably what I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna go ahead and get 2 of them, and I will show you right now that yes, you can put them on both. It will not freak out, okay? So there we go, and boop, it allowed me to. It would have said I couldn't for the tracers. It was the same tracer, all right? So good, so now you can see my stats have gone up a little more. Now we have our heralds on the top. So now let's talk about our word of, our next one, the terminology. Let me make sure I do the terminology right here. Word of craft. All right, we have 1 slot on this one. And then, yes, oh, so this one only has 1. So my runestone only has 1 slot at this level for a word of craft, and then also a word of power tracer, okay? Where my other one has 2 slots for word of power, I believe. My bag, which is kind of an interesting little thing. It changes depending on level sometimes as well. But again, I may hover this. So see, word of craft, I get 1 slot, and I get 2 slots for word of power. So now here's the next thing. Word of craft, I believe you can stack these on your, as you level up. These can be stackable, okay? So these can stack word of craft. In fact, this is something very important that I've just learned about this the other day while I was studying for this video for you guys. Some of them will actually have a bonus if you put multiple of the same one on. So for example, Ascendant of Frost, I will get, if I have 2 of them on, I get 15% frost damage. Now again, later when you level up more, this is where your legendary will get better. You'll get more slots opened up when you upgrade stuff. So that's kind of new. Lightning damage. Ooh, well look at that. Now again, I can't use that level, so I'm gonna go to rare, because you said I didn't have the turn in for that one, but it still has the same effect. So I'm gonna take 2 of these, all right? So I'm gonna take 2 lightning, and I'm gonna put 1 on my stone here, and I'm gonna put 1 on my bag. And now, if you notice, I have it applied. It does work over the 2 legendaries. That's why you have to be careful, because they kind of work together, the 2 legendaries, okay? So now I have 2, I don't have a 4th slot. I only have 1 more slot for this on my bag. So what I think I will end up doing is just get another stat that I like, all right? So for example, finesse could be really nice to have a little more finesse. which if you need to know about stats, if someone needs a refresher on that, I have guide videos on that as well, you guys. Let's see, tactical mastery. I think I'll just go ahead and take this tactical mastery one. Boop. Just a little more tactical mastery, and oh, you know what? Oh, I'm sorry. Both of my slots only had one spot. I forgot I had one spot for craft, so it worked out good. All right, so don't worry about that. Again, if you do buy one and you want to get rid of it, you don't have room for it, you can use your little crystal, Flame of this and Calamar, if you already have one, or you can get it later and then just left click it and it will dissolve it into ancient scripts for you. All right, but if you see right here, this is the thing I was talking about. If you open a box or if you try to dissolve them, I am at the max of ancient scripts in my wallet. So it will actually, Appraisal will give me ancient scripts, but I can't get ancient scripts that way. I'll have to wait and use up the ones I have. I kind of like it if they increase the cap, but maybe they will in the future. But anyway, moving on. So now let's get our last thing, Word of Power, okay? So if we click on this right here, Word of Power, these ones you cannot stack again, all right? So I'm gonna go to my right level, I'm gonna go to my right quality that I can afford, that I have the tradable stuff for, which I think again is rare. Yes, rare. And there's 2 pages again for the rares. So what I want is actually I take it back. You can stack these. You can take that back. I remember you can do this. So it depends on certain. So area of effect damage is 22% more powerful. Area of effect critical rating is more powerful. Ooh, that's really good. I'm building these 2 runestones for the lightning tree, which doesn't have a lot of area of effect. So what I think I'm going to do is damage over time. That would be good for the fire tree. Damage over time criticals. So damage over time criticals. That's pretty cool. Again, better for the fire tree. I'm looking for single target. I could use also, but you can just use incoming healing, parry. You could just put something else on. You don't have to use a buffing ability, okay? And so I'm gonna do something. Range extender is amazing. It actually increases your range. This is crazy good on any caster, okay? Like, so good. Let's see. Single target, again, range extender is so cool. Single target crit chance, single target crit magnitude, which means how much the multiplier of the crit increases. Both very good. So, but I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna do 2 range ones here, and I'm just gonna double check for you right now. We're gonna test it if we can do both. All right. So no, all right. I take back what I took back a second ago. No, the Word of Powers are like the tracers. Okay, the Word of Power tracers. Well, the word, it's in the name, are like the normal tracers, okay? So the only ones you can double up on are heraldry tracers and Word of Craft, okay? You cannot double up on Word of Power or regular tracers, okay, if they are the same name thing. You see how when I right-clicked it, it said you do not have any valid item to use that on? Well, I do have spots to use it on, but it won't let me double it up, all right? So now I'm gonna get the crit multiplier one now, all right? So again, these are things that are really important to know ahead of time. That's why I'm making this video for you guys, because it's really annoying to not know this after you spend your hard-earned things to get them. All right, where did it go? There it is. All right, damage over time, damage over time. I don't want those ones. I want these ones. All right, single target. Again, it's really, really good. Physical crit magnitude. That is so good. So we're gonna put that on this one. And again, look, we have another slot, but if I do another crit magnitude, I'm just gonna buy it for you because I have lots of extras. It won't let me do it, right? But I have one more slot. So what am I gonna do? Well, single target damage. I'm just gonna get that one and pop that on the other slot. So now if you notice, what do we have? We're built to do electric single target killing with these 2 runestones. Again, this is what you're gonna have to think about depending on what tree you're doing and what you're doing. Since I'm soloing and I'm leveling up right now, later I will make new runestones that'll be designed for healing dungeons or designed for an overtime fire build, you know, if I'm doing raid bosses, and that's my job, right? I'm not clearing little mobs, I'm doing raid bosses. Yep, there you go, you guys. So that was about it. Again, you can drag and drop this on here. I hope that was nice and quick for you. We did that in less than 25 minutes. I was trying to do it as quick as I could without confusing you guys. So again, I'll have some timestamps too. I'm sure you've already seen them if you already hopped around. And you guys have a great, wonderful day in Middle Earth, my friends. And thank you so much to my wonderful Patreons for their support. It means a lot. Happy setting up your new legendary systems if you've come back to LOTRO or you're a new player and you just needed some help. And again, if this did help you, subscribe button's there if I earned it. Next episode for guides is up there, and my other content main stuff is over there at LOTRO Tale. Someone is very happy over there, it sounds like. So you guys have a great day in Middle-earth, and I will see you in the next episode of Voice of the Rings. Enjoy.